Good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of BYTTT, the Trading Floor Edition. A lot has been going on lately, and I know there's a there's a few things I want to cover, and let me just get my iPad underway and get this ball rolling. All right, that looks good, and that looks good. All right, retry. Okay. I think because I upgraded, my remote's not going to work. All right, I guess we're going to have to do this manually. Today's market is it's in a very interesting space. So we're going to go ahead and see exactly how all of this is going to affect us. Another couple of things that I want to kind of point out. I did not release Market Blitz and I did not release Horns versus Claws. Unfortunately, there was a family event that I had to attend, and it kind of affected my production time. So that said, I will be doing a special version of both between now and later on this week, and probably something that's going to be all shorts to kind of just bring everybody up to speed on what I was thinking throughout the week. Because I did prepare it on Friday. Production happens on Saturday, but I do mindset, and mindset was late because of the event. Like, it's just everything got pushed back, and I found myself trying to edit the video at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning on Monday. So I didn't want to give you a terrible product. So that said, we're just gonna go ahead and get right to it. Let's go ahead and switch over to where is my live chat? Where did my live chat go? Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can figure out where my live chat went. Yeah, it's supposed to be right here, mini feed, and where are you, chat? Okay. If you are in my, no, don't want to log out. That's what happens when you make an adjustment and didn't get to be able. All right, let's just go and pull up the chart. I will just go ahead and open a YouTube version of it so I can see the chat, because obviously something is slightly off there. Boom, boom, boom. Didn't get to be able. All right, let's just go. All right. So now I kind of see the chat now. So if anything, I could go ahead and type it in. I'll be able to see it. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with this party. You already know I kind of go through my 8 grid and kind of run through the gambit of what is out there, what the market looks like, and everything else. I do have my paper trade already logged in. That's why the buttons are blue. Let me go ahead and come over to the daily here, because I want to show y'all some stuff that's happening on the daily. So, you remember how I kind of was pointing out on NQ that we was going to come to this order block and probably hit the brakes? So, on, oh my God, was it? I want to say it was Thursday. It had to been Thursday because, yeah, I do everything on Thursday. So on Thursday, I was pointing out to everybody that there was a strong possibility we could be going to that order block, which is roughly around here, right? Fill the gap, which we almost did. We didn't get all of it, right? And get really close to 20,000. I think today they're going to take one more shot to see if they can get up there. But overall, I think this whole entire party is where everything is happening. This thing, if we get into this fair value gap, our next stop is probably going to be in here. So very, very interesting spot on the market, and I would love to see what happens there. Maybe play this to the upside, fill the rest of this gap, depending on how the market moves. Oil looks like this, and you can kind of see that again we're back inside of that wedge. I thought it was going to cross back up, because lately we've been crossing right back up and then back down. It's just been doing all types of funky stuff. Let me get my light on. I thought I turned that on. There we go. It's been doing some very, very funky stuff. Almost like they want to dump it, so they're building up a reason why to dump it. That's how it kind of feels to me, because we just yet to actually really broke out that wedge to the upside, and I thought we was going to do that a couple of weeks ago. So looking at oil here, I want to see what they do with this base, but it's starting to look like an M pattern here. So could this actually be the move that they're looking for, to actually test down to 67.75? We will see later on this month. Gold took another stab up into that 25.50, and it's continuing up. Again, I am still looking for them to address this down here, so I wonder what level they're looking up for up here. So if we take a nice little extension from this candle here, I did it backwards, bear with me. Extension, not retracement, Jeff. All right, we do an extension here, so we're probably going to be heading to the 2587, maybe 2600 before we try and start to retrace, because that'll be the 1.618. Silver, remember how I told you, I said the only way gold is going to break out is if silver breaks out of its bump and run. And you can see right here, silver is making a nice little beeline to the next downward trend line. I am very curious, is this going to let gold get up into that 2600? I think the M pattern is completely done at this point. They try to get as much as they can, and they got liquidated. Now we're going to be on this upside. Look for a nice low rejection somewhere around that 31,245. Here's the British pound. We are pushing up. The market is attached to it, hence the reason why we're pushing up. The dollar is losing its strength along the way. Could we double top here? Maybe. Could we fail? Possibly. So we're going to see what happens with this as far as this level around 1.302. Sorry, 304, and see if it holds it or does it fall back down. And then we got natural gas. Natural gas, listen, it's not a magic trick. It's not nothing spectacular. Natural gas, it's just not seasoned. That level is going to be a tough area, and you can see what happened when they keep trying to get up there. I would love to see this thing really retrace and get into this contract expiration gap right here, but we got another contract expiration that's coming up in August 28th, so maybe this thing might not really do it, and they just hold a base there. All right, and then the Russell, it's not a magic trick. Got right into the order block, rejected, coming back down. I would love a nice little retrace into here. That would feel healthy, and then build strength to go after this fair value gap. And if they're starting to put money back into the small caps, where are they getting the money from? Tech. So we'll see what happens there. All right, and then dollar. There it goes. Death cross. Nice little retracement. Bear flag breakout. Let me draw this trend line where we have a bear flag that kind of looks like this. And we broke out of here. Retest called Kiss of Death. Shout out to Steve. And this thing looks like it's just filling that fair value gap. I'm looking at 101. Maybe, you know what? Let me just block this whole entire thing area here. Maybe we come somewhere inside of here between 101 426 101 079 before we actually have a sense of a bounce. So that said, just be very conscious on your level, and be conscious of what you're looking for. But generally speaking, we're probably going to get ourselves a nice little bounce on the dollar somewhere around that level. So just be smart with it and do your thing. All right, let's go ahead and pull up the NQ. Let's get ready for our orb. Put in the 15. Why you booted me? All right. Let's get that ball rolling. All right, let's get that there. I already logged into my account. Ooh, but I did not log into my Thinkorswim. Gotta do that. I hope y'all had a great morning. And if you're watching this on replay, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. Alright, so that's that. And then let me get my Thinkorswim logged in. Also, don't forget you can book your one-on-one with me. Links in the description. And I also have my class that's coming up. Let me go ahead and bring that up. So August 26th, become a profitable trader challenge. So I'm challenging everybody to make a step in the right direction. I'm going to teach a lot of the fundamentals that's necessary, what is a trend, and actually properly know how to do that. Get your mind right, because a lot of this is mostly psychological. What is a doji and what the information you get from it. Pattern optimization, that's going to be the fun part, because a lot of people talk about these patterns and the breakouts and everything. I got static rules behind it, and it turns it to be profitable. And then practice makes permanent. We're going to practice together. Don't miss out. Link's going to be in the description as well. All right, get that out the way. All right, so the market's about to open in about a minute or so. All right, so we got that, we got that, we got that. I don't need Thinkorswim right now. Let me get my grouping. So let's really talk about what is the possibilities of NQ. What could we do here, especially with the 1 hour pulling back like this? I would love for this thing to kind of reattack that area, get into that space I was talking about somewhere around here. So I'm really aiming for like that 906. But if we come in with some strength, we could really get into that 20.106. So 20,000 is very, very attainable. I don't think we've, let me see, when was the last time we did this? July 23rd. So it's been about a month since we really tested the 20,000 level. So could we really get rejected somewhere around there? That would be probably a choice situation to kind of see. 21 seconds to the market opens. This is a little annoying that I have to have YouTube. Hey, good morning, Marcus. What's going on? Appreciate you. Tapping in. And Marcus about to open. So we're gonna be doing that 15-minute orb. If you're not familiar with it or you haven't been to the floor before, there we go. Bell's there. This is a very simple, and any strategy is simple, right? It just has to follow certain rules. If this happens, then do that, and if that happens, then do this. That's how it really boils down to. But generally speaking, you just got to be able to refine it, and that's what my class next week is going to do. So don't forget to get your tickets for that. All right, so we got a minute in. It looks like we're going to hold this position. And also, if you got some longer term investments, don't forget, it's the week of Jackson Hole. Let me go ahead and my FX book. Let's go take a peek on what's coming up. All right, so it looked like Canada had some. Canada. I was about to say Canada. Canada just had their CPI information come out. We got a couple of Feds that's going to be speaking around 130, 230. Sorry, 135 and 245. We got a bill auction around 11:30. So not a lot of news. So we could drift up to higher highs, maybe get to that 20,000 level. So I'm probably going to be a little bullish on that one. Euro's going to get some PPI information tomorrow. Mortgage information, oil information is tomorrow. 20-year bond auction, and then FOMC minutes. So tomorrow is probably going to be where you're going to get a lot of volatility, a lot of volume, and a lot of chaos. All right, so that's probably going to be the dance that we're going to be really playing. So we'll see how that goes, and just be smart, folks. Just be smart. All right, so it looks like we built the base already. So let's see how this 15-minute plays out. So we would be possibly bearish if it actually gets to this level here. One of my alerts. Oh, this was actually a nice one. This was bullish. Oh my jeez. I meant to do clear one. I thought about scalping this up, but it looks like we're trying to build a base around this 813 level. Trying to see if we can explode to that upside. Why did that just freeze on me just now? Okay, there we go. Ah, yeah. See if I can find a spot on the quick little scalpers. Let's close this. Looks like it's not holding that. Nice hold. Now it's holding. Now, like I said, I don't like to play inside too much. I'm not a fan of it. But every so often, opportunity presents itself, and I'll take a stab here and there. See if this upside kind of holds. Looks like it's toying, toying. Mm-mm-mm. And that's the part about the opening, is that they can kind of toy with it a little bit before they actually really make it take off. And since this is a little bit of a scalp, I'm going to do a tighter stop than I normally would. But I think we're going to go ahead and try to establish something up there before it starts to really fail. We'll see. I might be completely wrong. There we go. There we go. And there we go. We got some levels there. All right. Boom. Let's see if that takes off. All right, that took off. All right, good 30 ticks. That's all I really wanted. That hit. Yep, a good chunk of my gold. Boom. All right. Now that I'm off my, for those that are curious, yeah, I'm finally off my futures hiatus. I kind of put myself on futures punishment, so that way I can refine my scalping. Went back to paper trading, played around with a lot of theories and suggestions, and cleaned up some of my entries and revamp my emotions. That's what I had to do. Sometimes you got to kind of do that. You kind of have to step away from the market before it beats you up a little bit. So if you haven't experienced that, either A, you're ignoring the signs, or B, you're still going through it and fighting almost a losing battle. So, but we'll break that down at the class next week. Oh, to kind of put it all full circle, I still will have my trading floor for the week, right? So it still would be Tuesday through Thursday, 9:15 to roughly about 10:15, 10:30. But it's going to be a hard stop at 10:45 because I have to cater to my members. All right. This thing probably got another leg to it, but we got like 9 minutes. Try to figure out how they're going to go ahead and break this bad boy out. So let's talk levels. What is it that they could be relatively looking for? You know what? I think I'm gonna stick with the 20,000 level. We haven't tested it. We're too close to it for them not to at least test that one. So 20,000 level. Yeah, this has been detached a bit. Let's take that and that. Hold on, bear with me. Because I think the volatility that we've had is toying with a lot of my numbers, and that's 41,850. So I think the IV is very juiced, so be careful. And then this was we reached as high as 865. Interesting, yeah. They're drastic there. This is a big old difference. So the Q's is completely separate. So let's talk about a level. Let me look at it from a 15-minute and see if we can find it. I'm gonna have to reinvent the wheel a little bit. I had a way of finding what contract I want. Let's go with looks like probably somewhere around the ballpark of 315. Oop, 315 on July 23rd. July 23rd. So the high of that candle was, oh, uh-huh, 482. Okay, so we're gonna go aim for something a little bit higher just to kind of get us more bang for our buck. Let's go with something around 484 on the upside, and then on the downside, I would love to kind of go with some type of fair value gap itself. Oh my God, this thing looks so bullish on the 15 minute, but we just been slowly drifting up. That's what we've been doing. Da, 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 da. On the south side, maybe we'll get a target to. Let me put extended. I'm gonna have extended hours just to make sure I'm not doing anything crazy. 200 moving average, probably 475. So 485, 475. Let's see what these contracts look like. So the 485 on the Qs. Well, I'm already passing the put, so let me look at that one first. 475. Yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, let me cancel these. These was yesterday's orders before I make a mistake with that. All right. So that's probably going to be our put side. Not saying it's going to go there, just saying that that's probably what we're looking for. And then 485. I like it. These two. That's probably why I'm going to be taking a peek on their contract, seeing if that's the one I'm going to roll with. Let me go ahead and make sure my compound is doing the same thing. If you're prepared, you'll be ready for anything. So we're going to be ready for when the market decides what it wants to do. So plan ahead. Or any basketball fans, you know, you got to do your homework early when you're boxing out, right? So right now I'm trying to box out the market and be like, hey, I dare you to do this. Miss that shot. I'm going to grab this rebound and make this cash real quick. That's what I'm looking at right now. All right, so we got 5 more minutes. Let's go ahead and take this top. This is probably what we're going to look for on the bullish side. And let's go. Oh, somebody just sent me something. Yep, I'm about 46% on my pizza. But it's still toying around. We got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do on that one. All right. So let's go ahead and take a peek on the list that I'm already going to go over with y'all. UNH, beautiful ticker. Beautiful ticker. I think they're consolidating, trying to figure out what they're going to do with themselves. They had a massive run up. I would love for it to kind of retrace back to the 550. It is not doing that. I would pick that thing up in a heartbeat. I'm just joking. I would love to see some type of support structure shows up right here around that UNH level of 550. But I just think they're just building up their positions here. They're not letting this thing get that low. When they had their last earnings, it was very solid. They are almost a $100 billion company as far as revenue. So I'm very curious on what ends up happening with UNH. Clorox is going to that 150 level. The report that I had, I did record it, but it's not edited. Maybe I'll do something like, release the edit, but I was kind of like targeting that 150. But again, scattered mind, been all over the place, so we'll see exactly how that goes. And then we got Zscaler. Now, Zscaler is inside of that cybersecurity space, and here's where Zscaler kind of can win, right? If they strike while the iron's hot, right? Datadog is getting its butt whipped, right? Because of their debacle. You have not Datadog, CrowdStrike. Datadog, on the other hand, it seems like they're not picking up as fast. And then you got PanW, that's already that upper echelon. So who's going to be the number 2? CrowdStrike had that for a very long time. So let's go ahead and just run through that real quick. Here's CrowdStrike. They're trying to recover, but that lawsuit that's impending is going to beat this thing up coming in. So I could only imagine what they're going to say during this earnings. And then you got yourself Pan W. Pan W looks good. It was something that was on my watch list. I should have played this bad boy up. It looked like it was going to go ahead and make like an M pattern when I first looked at it. Then when I saw it reverse, I should have noticed that we was trending here and just played that up. Good not divergent but continuation. We're holding that. We went through the zero line. When we go through the zero line, this could have been just a nice little signal of a potential pop, and that's exactly what we did, and I missed out on this one. And then we have Datadog, right? So Datadog, this one is just, you can just tell it's not whatever they're doing on the back end, their marketing or whatever the case may be, whatever it is. This might be a sleeper, might be a laggard to that regard, because all cybersecurity got hit all at once because they thought it was like a security threat on all of them. And come to find it was only isolated to CrowdStrike. You can see CrowdStrike has been punished, and it is what it is. So looking at Zscaler could probably be the one that is going to enjoy a lot of this stuff, a lot of the backlash, and maybe the one that runs up. Looks like a W pattern to me here. So a nice little break above this 208 would be great, but I was going to play this until it rolled up. All right, so let's go ahead and get back over to NQ. NQ looks like this. 15-minute. Boom, boom, and boom, boom. Oh, they recaptured. Hold on. I didn't think they were going to go ahead and push back up. Oh, yeah, they pushed this thing back up. Let's see. They took another shot at it. Let's see, I got up in here, around here. Took it out that peak. Nice pullback. Look like it's catching support around 59. Let's go ahead and readjust this. That's probably our high right there. We got 9 seconds. All right. Everything's established. So let's go ahead and see. I just want something simple. Maybe you could tweak it for yourself, what you think is comfortable for you. But a nice little close of the 5-minute above this level would be great. I wonder if they're going to do what they did yesterday. Yesterday, they kind of swept the downside and the buy side liquidity before they took off, and then it took off for the rest of the day. So this one was very interesting. I was talking to a person that was like, yeah, I think we're going to run for the rest of the day. I had my doubts. I did. But we did. We kind of ran for the day. I made my money, and then I kind of just moved on for the rest of the day. So we got like 5 minutes. Gonna wait to see if this thing can close above there. Let's come back over to the list and see what else is going on. Actually, before we do that, let's go check out on the indices. We got oil. Oil on the 15-minute look like it's trying to build this base and kind of continue to that upside. But again, I do think that it's getting its butt whipped. I would love to see it come back down to 71.75, maybe break down, and we could come back down. Gold, let's see if it's continuing to ride. Looks like gold is continuing to ride. We got up to 2570. Yeah, I really think we could get to 2600. Very possible. Very possible. And especially with silver doing its breakout, coming over to the 1 hour. You can see that. Coming on to the daily, you can see that. So I would love to see what the day holds and see how we attack this. But I will not be surprised we take out this fair value gap and start to really test this area somewhere around there. And then let's do dollar. Oh, that dollar is going to fill that gap. Look at that. We're going all the way down to here. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go back over to NQ. Here we are. Now, very interesting thing, because I just saw that from the daily. Even though we established, let me tweak that a little bit, right? And we established on the 5-minute that we're trying to break above there. We have selling pressure all inside of this zone, so we could kind of like box this. Let's box this area here. Kind of have ourselves a box that we're going to have to go through. Something like that. So it could get real choppy when we get in there. So we'll see how that kind of pans out. So just be patient. There's no reason to rush the market. Our little 1, 2, maybe 3 contracts on QQQ does not move the ticker super far. So yeah, let's be smart. So the 5 minute is really not getting up to that upside. So let's go run back over to some tickers. I didn't give my other alert yet. Yeah. All right. We'll leave that alone for right now. Okay. Let's go to Starbucks. I gave warnings. I hope people heed them. Um, dividends is here. Look like people are starting to take some their money off of ex-dividend date. Maybe that's why we haven't really moved up. But I want, before I could actually believe that this is going to hold, I need to see that this support has been tested. I need to see these areas tested. So since we have not tested it and it looks like we're starting to, maybe we'll do it in the middle of the day. We'll see. Uh, GE Healthcare, I thought it was going to get a better pop than this because they had some solid earnings. They just missed on EPS. But again, this is after the divestment where GE is in aerospace and healthcare, and they kind of like split the company just apart. So I was very curious if we was going to go ahead and recapture this wick, and we did not. It looks a little weak to me. And then Expedia, summer's almost over. People are probably going to take their money out of travel stocks, so going to be very interesting there. Let's come over to my bearish side. Now, a lot of my bearish list is not bearish because we had a massive drop off, right? So a lot of recovery is happening. CCJ, big drop. Kind of looks like a bear flag breakout with this oh my God, Death Cross. I had a blonde moment for like 2 seconds. So I'm thinking that this Death Cross plays out. They missed on EPS really badly. I guess people are not getting into uranium and nuclear. Maybe it was probably just a minor pump and dumpish. I don't know. Depends. Key level of support has been broken, so we're back above it. So if we start trending back down and the Death Cross starts to take over, I could see CCJ at least testing something down here around 29 to 30 bucks. Snow, another one. I think they're in cyber. Are they in cybersecurity? I might have left out Snow. Data, cloud services. I don't know if they do security, but you know what? From a cloud services perspective, maybe Snowflake probably got hit with that as well. A whole bunch of stuff. But anyways, did look very bearish. Had a nice little drop off here. Had a nice drop off here. Had a nice drop off. It just does not look good compared to a lot of these tech space items because we ran for 2024. So what happened to you, Snowflake? Look at that. Look at that. This is the last bullish run that they had here, and now they're trying to build this micro trend right here. Does earnings give that pop for them? I don't know, but this Death Cross is here. They gotta hold that 50 EMA before anything actually pops off. Oh right. Oh, there we go. That 5 minute. I am taking too long. Let's go see that 5 minute. Did we close above? Did we close? Oh, we did close above. All right. Let's go ahead and get ourselves ready. Maybe. You know what? Because we're going to the order block, I'm gonna do scaling. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Let's go with that one. Boom. Save that. And then boom. Save this one. I was just gonna go ahead and just load and go. But those wicks are scaring me a little bit. Just a little bit. Take the shot. On futures, I'm probably gonna risk around, I don't know, something small, assuming that this thing just really starts to explode to that upside. But we'll see if that actually pans out. It's trying. Like I said, this was a selling area. I forgot to make my copies. I forgot to make my copies. Ah, man. Yeah, kind of mismanaged it a little bit, but come on, take off. If it takes off, this thing should. Forgot to make my copies again. Come on, baby. Oh, nice orb. You're so pretty. Can you get me 20%? Almost to 20%. Almost to 20%. There we go. I'll take the 15% and sit on the runner and let the rest of the day kind of hold. So I'm sitting on probably about 50 or so ticks on this ride. Looks like this ride is going to continue, and I'm going to wait for up. There goes 75. That's what I was looking for, and I am out of there. Let the rest runs. Let's see if we can get to 20,000. Come on, baby. Carry my runners to 20,000. So let's see. What did I generate out of that? All right, good solid pop on that. I was I was looking for more impact, but it seemed like we was getting more impact on the future side than we was getting on the stocks and options side. So I took my money off the table. I'm gonna let this runner. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Come on, just hold it there. Hold on to the. Hold on to your love. Come on, baby. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Ah, I can't let you. I gotta at least take break even. All right, on my stocks and options. Ah, I forgot to put my P&L, and I did tweak it a little bit. You know, I'll send y'all a bit of a screenshot somehow, somewhere. Actually, this thing is starting to do some funky stuff that I don't like. Come on, baby. I want you to get to that 20,000. So let's give it some time here, and then I'll probably actually, you know what? My future side, I hit what I was looking for. So that was a good little run. Let's go over to MNQ, and then we'll probably play from that side just so I can have the juices flowing a little bit and kind of tell y'all what I am thinking. But that was a good pop. So this is how I like to play it. I'm not saying that this is the right way or the wrong way. There's times I take losses here, right? So you just got to have the rules and the strategy. But I have a close above the 5 minute, which is on the 5 minute, which is above the 15 minute here, right? That's just how I like to kind of play it, right? And I probably could have got back in on that. And I pretty much enjoyed this whole 5 minute candle. Now, could I stay in? Absolutely. Could I deal with the pullbacks? Absolutely. But what I don't like to do is go full leverage and then let that. I like to let runners run. So you have to determine what type of strategy that you're going to initiate when you're taking a trade. So there was nothing wrong, and it happened quickly. And sometimes with the orb, it happens super fast. Sometimes it takes forever. Sometimes it just stays inside of range and day and stays inside of this box. You just got to put proper discernment. I break all that stuff down on my class coming next week, and it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really fun. I still think we're gonna get to that 20,000. I sat on my runners because what I'm probably gonna do is run these runners based on what I see off of the 5 minute, and it looks like we're getting some of that now. I want to see this kind of like next candle red, but the red candle just doesn't go anywhere. Get a nice little break through the zero line will be choice, and then we just take a nice little stab at 20,000, which brings us to here. Currently, NQ is at 483, 480, yeah, 482, 483. That's where they're kind of like pushing up there, and we probably could get up into that 485. I don't think we're going to get to 500 again, but with the momentum that we've been building ever since that massive drop earlier in the month of August, which I think was a large sum of profit taken, um, it can, like they're like percentage wise, I would say 25-30% chance that it gets back to the 500 level. Um, but you know, just use discretion. Use discretion. All right, let's go ahead and run through some tickers. I think we did our trade for today. That is the best trade I think we're going to get out of this because usually after the market opens, we get a lot of volume. And let's run through some tickers again. So Marriott. Marriott, I had it on my bullish side a couple weeks ago when we was kind of doing this like topping pattern, and I was looking at the 200 as a support and then taking off. But you can see we double tap and we put in what looks like a death cross, and this looks like a bear flag. So this thing is a very precarious position. Summer's over, so no more vacations, but hotels don't really follow that from that. It's mostly airlines that kind of gets affected like that. So I'm very curious on what happens here with Marriott. The next one is Oracle. This one it fell into my bears list, and when I did the video, I basically was crying like, man, I really don't want to short Oracle, but it's showing up on my list based on the parameters of my screener, and you can kind of see we're coming back. I would love to see some consolidation here. They're a very good company, so I could see consolidation, wait here, and then we start to break above, maybe break above 141, maybe that 142 area. That would be really choice. That would be really choice. Let's see. And then we got Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley, you already know the financial sector had a nice little run up. They were pushing up and continuing into that upside. This was a nice little pullback. They got back through the gaps off that pullback. So I'm very curious on what they're going to do with this action as a whole. But if we look at this, it kind of looks like an evening star that is building. So I want to see if this day actually ends up red. If it does, that could flip this and make this start to go down to that downside, and we'll see what happens there. Let's see. The next one is Walmart. And Walmart, it looks like this one, ever since the earnings pop, it's kind of doing this little dance like it's going to go ahead and give up uh, more of that upside. Like this gap here is holding really tight. Like it's just not gonna. I think $75 is very attainable at this point. Let's get there. Look out for a rejection somewhere around that 75 psychological level. But overall, it looks really good. We go over to the weekly. This is what it looks like. Nice engulfing, and we're just getting continuation after those solid earnings. So I would love to see how this pans out. Whatever happens, unless something very major like we get to like $100, I could see probably possible divergences start to form. So we could get a deeper pullback, maybe even test inside of this fair value gap. So just be careful in case this thing starts to pull back and they start to attack your retail. All right, let's go over to NQ. NQ did a nice little pullback. I was looking at it from another screen, and I was kind of trailing it to the 5, but it came all the way back into what would have been the orb, and I did not expect it to do that deep of a pullback. So I'm gonna hold on to one more 5 minute and see what happens, and then just take whatever the market gives me. Take the W's where the W's are. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, it kind of looks like some profit taking, but it also looks like reversal because we're breaking some key supports that we just built. But I really think they want to test that 20,000. We're just way too close for us not to test it. All right, we got like a minute and 9 seconds on this. We're probably gonna tap out at 10:15. I think that's a good number for today because we got a solid trade in. If you didn't participate in the trade, I would say, cool, it's okay. Maybe we'll catch the next one. I do this every Tuesday through Thursday, 9:15 to 9:15 to roughly about 10:15, 10:45 is the latest I've ever done. And yeah, we'll just catch the next one and we'll make money there. My goal is to try to generate about $100 per day on this small buildup of this account, and we're slightly close to it. That's why I kind of left this runner. Actually, I got above it on one account, and I had the runner, and I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe we could just get some more. So I kind of left the runner in there. So that's why I'm waiting for this 5 minute candle to really tell me what it's trying to do. They still left a little piece of the fair value gap, so I think this 5 minute is holding a little bit. But it did engulf the previous candle, so this could come down. So we'll just be patient and see what happens. And I wonder if they just came for sell side liquidity and just try to push down, but I don't think so. That 20,000 is just too tempting for the market to not at least take a stab at it. All right. So we have a level that it looks like we're building up a base at, which is just around that 1890. So the bears want to kind of keep it under 19,900. It seems like that's the line that they drew. While the bulls are probably buying up the dip because they think they're going to put some pressure onto that 19,000 breakthrough, and then that momentum is probably what's going to carry us to 20,000. But we'll see. Does the Bears win or the Bulls win? You put it in the chat. Let me know what y'all think. If you're watching on replay, by all means, you can do it from the comment side. Do the Bears win or the Bulls? Don't cheat and just fast forward and find out the answer. Because we're live, so that would be just unfair. You just pick the right answer. All right, let me go back to my grouping. Oh, could this be it? Could this be it? They trying their best to get to that 1900, 900. And here comes the Bears smacking it. Bang! This is the fun part of the job. It's like watching an action-packed movie or some type of sports event. South side, north side, something along the lines of that. We're going up. Now we're going down. And it's in this tug of war. I'm actually taking a peek on the future side to see if I'm going to take a position to that upside. What I want to see happen is a nice little pop up, really to put some attack on this 5 minute fair value gap that we kind of created here, and a nice little push into the wicks, and then an attempt to recapture the wick. So just going level by level. There goes that 1900. We are there. Maybe a little pullback, and then we just the bear's like, oh my god, hold the door. And they're trying. They get a like, oh man, they made it this far. Push them back. They almost got him again. And the bear's like, no, we're not giving you 19,900. All right, we got a minute and 13 seconds. Oh, oh, oh. I think the Bears are giving up. I think the Bears are out of the building. I think they are out of there. I think they're like, nah, we are not going to be the ones getting liquidated. You're not going to get us like this. I'm just toying around with an idea. I've been revamping my strategy. Actually, I want to kind of give y'all a little prelude to what's going to come up with the class on Thursday. I actually went back to some old algebra and statistic books to kind of like, I'm like, oh my god, there's got to be something I'm missing or whatever. And I went back to my scalability. If you ever read the book Best Loser Wins, Tom Hugard talks about buying in strength instead of averaging down, and he talks about discount stores, and you always want the best deal and everything else, and America kind of builds us in that ideology. But in trading, you can't have that same mentality with that, because that same breath, looks like they're pulling it back. I'm about to hit my stop. Yep, they just hit my stop. You can't have that same ideology, because if you really think about it, that each and every time that you're like, I want discount, want discount, want discount, you're gonna go ahead and average down on a loser. Oh, they're about to go inside of that block. If they go back inside of here, I'm probably gonna have a rough time with my stop loss. But you always think of discount, discount, discount. Guess what ends up happening? You're gonna have a mentality of discount. But if there's a sound investment, you just want to be in relatively early, right? And you want to just be in a sound position, because you know if it's still running, then buy more of it. You ever got caught in one of those points where you're like, oh my god, I should have bought more, right? Well, those are probably those instances that gives you those opportunities that you could buy more, so you might as well just buy more, right? So that's what he kind of talks about in the book. So I went back to scalability, and just doing my positions instead of me just turning around and just loading the boat at a key level that I like. And it's been fun. It's been a little bit more fun than doing it, and less anxiety a little bit. But I have rules around it, which I break down in that class. So if you're looking at your trading plan and you're like, hey Jeff, I would love for you to kind of like break mines down and tell me where I'm dropping the ball or whatever, I would be more than glad to kind of break that down. All right, they're taking it back inside the block. Let me take my runner off. Can't give you all my profits. All right, we'll find another spot. But when it's all said and done, like, proper scalability allows for you to be inside of trades a little bit longer and right, because you're buying into strength. And if it's really a sound investment and it's doing the decision that you thought it was going to do, let's just say you was aiming for a fair value gap, like we were aiming for this one here, that means more people are going to buy in, or more people, or stop losses going to get triggered, and you're you're going into the strength and the direction that the market is going. Now, there is some flaws behind it, which I break down from a psychological, like anchoring biases and FOMO and everything else, which I break down. That's the only thing I would be fearful for. But if you really are trying to elevate and really get your trading to the next level, it's going to take a three-prong attack, which I break down in that class. And actually, you know what? I could give that to you. First, it's about the psychology, and then it's about the risk management, and then after the risk management, it's just you as an individual and forgiving yourself. Like those three things, because a lot of us, when we take in our trades, the first thing is like, we got it wrong. No, you didn't. You didn't get it wrong. The only time you could get something wrong is if you turn around, take a trade, and you just literally ignored the rules that made it successful when you tested it. And if you ignored the rules, then that's getting it wrong. But if you get stopped out and you did it exactly, hey, this happens, and then after this has happened, I get in here and I'm gonna put my stop loss here, my take profit here, and then they hit you, have at it. They won. That's okay. And then the next time you win, and then it's going to give you more than what you lost. If we could get to that point as individual traders, that's when everything kind of like really balanced and you'll be at peace. All right. So that said, I risked like about 16 bucks there, and then this one I risked about 14 times 2. 14 times 2, that's about 28 bucks. 28 bucks and 15 bucks to see if this runner would have held. Um, did it. It is what it is. That said, I want to say thank you for participating, chiming in. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. I'm always on here Tuesday to Thursday, Lord willing, and trying to make sure that I give y'all the best information. You know, gave y'all a strategy with the orb. You know, it's very commonplace. A lot of traders traded, and we just go from there. We just keep on building. So just build it brick by brick. Don't try to run this marathon like a sprint. You know what I'm saying? Just pace yourself and you'll be fine. And become a profitable trader challenge is next week. Get your tickets, and I'll see y'all next week. Yeah, have a great day.